Mastering Mid Lane, Jayce commentary. Brought to you by Absolute Zero's HalfPast Store. Pre-game runes and masteries. Okay guys, so I'm running AD Reds, AD Quints, Yellow Scaling Health, and Blue Magic Resist runes, and I'm running 2190 Standard Offensive Mastery page. Now on to the commentary, hope you guys enjoy. Hey guys, HalfPastHammer here again, and I'm going to be uploading one of my solo queue games from the other day where I played Jayce. I was last pick and managed to actually get mid lane. Everyone else wanted the other roles. So yeah, I picked Jayce because I was playing against the Kassadin in mid lane, and I thought I don't like Zed right now. I had a choice to pick Yasuo, but I wanted to play Jayce over Yasuo, so because he has the range advantage and isn't very susceptible, or as susceptible to Evelyn ganks as Yasuo and Zed are. Because if you play aggressively with Zed and Yasuo in lane, then you're probably going to die to an Evelyn gank, whereas Jayce has a good chance to get away. And you want to pick something that's got physical damage against the Kassadin, so you can just pressure him really hard and make him lose CS and fall behind early. In fact, it's one of the main reasons why I don't pick Kassadin early in solo queue, because you can get countered like this. Also another reason I didn't want to play Zed or Yasuo is because exhaust counters them pretty hard, especially Zed. So standard random stuff at the start of this game. Rammus starts taunt. We've got oh yeah, something I didn't mention actually. We have a Rammus top against a Warwick top this game. So two relatively unconventional champions for high diamond solo queue, and then you've got the Twitch jungle, which I've been seeing a lot more than I want to see lately, but it's not too bad, so you'll see throughout the game that he's actually quite useful. So yeah, three very unconventional picks in this game. Soraka support versus a Karma support, so that's pretty even lane. Soraka will just sustain through the Karma damage. This game I started item-wise, I started a longsword with 3 pots because I like having the potions just in case I get early ganked and I can sustain back through. I've been level 2 ganked by leveling before and it's not pretty. Take a lot of damage and lose a lot of lane pressure. As you can see, this is the main reason AD champions are really good against Cass. He throws the Q at you to get the magic shield, but you don't do any magic damage, so it all goes through. I take a little bit too much minion damage here. I'm pretty sure I didn't de-aggro these minions somehow. Like, I walked back but the minions stayed aggro to me and I just took so much damage from them. That has never happened before when I played a ranged mid laner. So I was pretty surprised, but it shouldn't matter too heavily. I still have a huge amount of pressure onto the Kassadin early, because I've got the ranged advantage, and 2, his kit, 2 of his skills are pretty much useless. Well, not useless, but one of the parts of his Q is useless because it gives a magic shield against me. Even though some of my stuff in hammer form does magic damage, and his passive, I don't think they changed his passive from the rework. His passive gives you a 15% reduced magic damage, which isn't going to be very useful against Jayce. So as you can see, I'm just auto-attacking him as much as I possibly can in lane. The skill order I'm going to go is going to be Q into E into W. So max the W last, put points into Q and E. Q first because the Q is your main damage source. I play Jayce. There's 2 ways to play Jayce. There's 2 item builds you can go on him. One of them is the Muramana late game Jayce build, as I'm about to get ganked by an Eve here, so I'm just going to discuss the build in a second. So I have a good feeling that I'm going to get ganked by Eve here. As you can see, I'm playing really defensively. I'm just constantly playing back because I'm pretty sure, yep, here it comes. So I knock her away, I keep running. Kassadin's forced to flash and ignite me, and Eve's forced to flash. So if I'd have auto-attacked the Evelyn there after queuing her, I would have actually got first blood. Yeah, I'd have got first blood and died and wasted all of their summoners, which would have been really good, but unfortunately I mess up and I don't auto-attack after the Q. I decide to try and run back, but her Q clips me. So that was my mistake. I should have known that the Q was going to clip me on the way back and should have just gone all in for the kill, as it was obvious that I was going to die. But even though I did die, not all is bad. They had to burn both flashes and they had to burn Kassadin's ignite. Now, as a Kassadin without a flash in a lane where you're against a very fast, very high damage champion, that's really bad for Kassadin. Also, he had to back off, meaning he loses EXP from this wave, as it's frozen outside my tower. So, not all is lost. He may have got the first blood gold, but I'm still stronger in lane. And I have my Ignite up still, whereas he doesn't. He also doesn't have his flash, so he's very susceptible to a Twitch gank, which is exactly what this Twitch is looking to do. He knows, because I said in chat that Kassadin's flash is down, and he has no summoners, so he knows there's no threat of him ganking and not getting anything from it. So he's going to come in straight away. Kassadin's only just got back to lane, he's not going to expect this. I land my EQ combo into my Q in hammer form, and I just wait for the last hit, get the hammer form EQ on him, and get the gold back. And now he's in big trouble. It's gone from him having a slight edge to him losing about 2 waves of CS to the tower and dying. So as you can see, he's now going to be hugely behind in levels. Now, if I was Kassadin, I don't know, I would have expected at least some huge pressure to come out, as he doesn't have flash. But obviously it's really hard for him to escape, especially as he doesn't have flash anymore. So, as I said, the gank on me early was not too bad, because I can just pressure him back, and he's a lot weaker than me right now, even though he had first blood. So now I have the level advantage on him, and we're even in gold. He's obviously had the time to spend the gold, whereas I haven't. Actually, no, yeah, I haven't had time to spend the money yet, but I'm still stronger, even though he has more spent gold than I do. Now, there's 2 types of ways you can build Jayce, as I was trying to discuss earlier, before I got ganked by Evelyn. One of those ways is a very late game build, where you build tier, and you upgrade it into Mirror Mana, and you, sorry, is it Mirror Mana? No, Man Immune, and then it will stack up into a Mirror Mana. And this allows your W, which Jayce's W allows you to attack basically 4 times at max attack speed. So you attack and then use it, and you get 4 auto attacks at maxed attack speed. And when you max hypercharge, they also do over 100% of your original damage. This Twitch gank is coming in here, but unfortunately Kassadin's playing very safe, and there's no way I could get through the minions to get onto him. But Twitch puts a nice bit of damage down on Kassadin, so that's pretty good. As I was saying, the Mirror Mana build makes your late game absolutely insane, because the amount of damage you can output in those 4 auto attacks is ridiculous. So yeah, but I prefer to play Jayce when I'm playing him as a mid laner. I prefer a different build, which is you rush into Brutalizer, then you go into Bloodthirster, and then you go into Last Whisper. And this is a full AD poke build, like an AD carry. So like a Graves or a Lucian or Caitlyn. And you just spam EQ combos. For some reason, I think Warwick might have teleported down to bot to try and gank, and unfortunately it fails. As he comes back through up to top lane, he tries to get a gank on me as well, and it doesn't work out. Because Jayce is very fast. I can escape. So I'm quite wary of the Evelyn ganking me, as I still don't have my flash up. So I'm playing the lane quite defensively. Twitch is going to stealth in for another attempted gank. I'm trying to bait Kassadin into thinking that he's safe. But unfortunately, now that he has his ult, it's very easy for him to just leave and escape. So the CS, as you can see, I've got about 2 waves lead on him, and that's because of the 2 waves that he lost to tower earlier when we got the gank on him after the Evelyn ganked me. Bit of action there, basically. Eve caught Twitch at his wolves, and Twitch, being a really squishy jungler that he is, almost died, but managed to get a nice flash over the wall to escape. So this lane phase is hugely in my favour. I should be looking to deny him a bit more. So right there, he tanks an EQ combo and loses a good chunk of his health, and is going to be forced to back here, I reckon. So my job now is to push out the wave. I push out the wave in hammer form, because not a lot of people know this, but your hammer form, I think it's a passive on your lightning field, the W in hammer form, where you get 6 mana back per hit with hammer stance. So if you're in lane with Jayce, and you have no pressure on you, no jungle pressure, no mid laner pressure, so I know that Evelyn's going to come around and try and kill Twitch its blue, so I rotate to kill the Evelyn as she does. She misses her smite, and I pick up the blue buff. She's forced to flash, but Alanir are calmer this game. comes up and helps me secure the kill on Evelyn, giving me double buffs. Now this is really, really bad for Kassadin. Twitch pings the blue buff, so we get the minions cleared, and I'm standing here for like 3 seconds waiting for mana so I can queue over the wall. But that's fine. So we clear the blue buff. And now I have an absolutely enormous lead on this Kassadin. As you can see, however, he has a lot more spent gold than I have. I haven't based for, like, I don't even know how long. Like, way too long. I should have based by now, but I don't need to base, so I won't. So just looking to harass Kassadin as much as I can. Force some mana out of him there. Force some health off him as well. And just zone him from the creep wave. Because what Kassadin does is he wants to get farm so he can get to his mid-late game status as fast as possible. So the best thing you can do against a Kassadin is you don't have to play overly aggressive to try and kill him. You just have to deny his farm. So every time he goes to farm, you want to be looking to pressure him, and he'll be less enthusiastic about coming in for it. So as you see, he tried to get the CS there, but Rift walks away because he's too scared that I'm going to jump on him and kill him. So I know he wants this cannon. I know I want to deny him this cannon. So at the very least, I get a huge amount of damage onto him with my EQ combo. It would be a lot more if I'd have based and spent, let's see, if I'd have based and spent the 2,700 gold I'm sitting on, but it still does a good chunk of damage considering I haven't spent that 2,700 gold. So, just going to push out the wave here. I'm very wary of getting ganked here by the Evelyn. So Kassadin goes in on me. I flash, I'm out of there immediately because I know stuff's going bad. When a Kassadin who's really far behind you and has no way to 1v1 you tries to do that, it's obvious that he's going to try and he's got help coming from his teammates, so you should just back off. Don't try and fight him even though you're stronger than him. It's obvious something is out of the ordinary. When an opponent who's weaker than you tries to fight you, you should just leave. And if it's a bluff, then you can still get a good amount of return damage on him. As you can see, I did a lot of damage to him and ended up killing him because he took so much damage from the entry damage that he took to try and engage on me, so the Evelyn and Warwick could kill me. But fortunately, having my flash up, there's not much they could do. The Rammus proxy farming. This is amazing. I've never seen Rammus stop, and it was just really fun to see him not feed, basically. He really didn't do bad at all in this game. Just watch bot lane action. Evelyn's going to come in for a gank. Jinx gets exhausted and ulted by Eve. Almost picks up a kill on Soraka, but unfortunately... Oh, Elena does pick up a kill on Soraka, so it's a 2 for 1, which isn't awful. I get a good amount of pressure onto Kassadin as I enter back into lane. Again, auto attack on him reduces his armor and magic resist, and the EQ finishes him off. Now, in when you switch to... Wait. Where is it on? His passive or Q? No. It's in its... Oh, isn't it? Yeah. So when you transform back into cannon, you get 15... Sorry, if you transform from cannon to hammer, you get 15 armor and magic resist. When you transform back into the other one, the Mercury cannon, you get your next auto attack reduces the armor and magic resist to your opponent. So when I hit him after switching stances, he lost a lot of armor, which meant that I could EQ combo and kill him. Should show now. Reduces their resist by 15%. That's actually huge. I didn't realise it was that good. I thought it was just 15 flat. So yeah, the Rammus is trying to finish off the Warwick up here. I'm coming up because I know that Evelyn's going to come up from Wolves because I warded her Wolves earlier. Rammus finishes off the Warwick. I land the EQ onto Eve. He gets... Oh, he looked to try and get a taunt there onto Evelyn, but I do finish off the Evelyn. I know Kassadin's coming up there, so I'm just going to try and run away. I pick up the red buff, which helps me in this upcoming fight. I also level up. And I just try and burst him down, get as much damage on him as I can, and he's actually forced to flash away because he doesn't think that he can kill me. And I actually agree with him there. I don't think he could have killed me, just about. And that's because I'm so far ahead. I actually managed to spend my gold before that fight, so as you can see, I think it was 4-1 before that fight with Kassadin, because I got the Evelyn kill to make it 5-1, and I just completely outdamaged him from half health, and he couldn't do anything. So at this point, being about 50 CS up, and just having so much gold from kills is really nothing that Kassadin can do right now. He's going to be pretty useless all game compared to me. And if I play the game correctly, from this point onwards, I should be able to carry my team, no matter what happens across the map. So Rammus gets a nice teleport gank onto the bot lane here. Taunts up the Soraka under the tower, and all of the burst comes out, and she just drops. Looks like the Jinx wanted to try and dive onto the Graves. Graves wastes his ult to force them away. And I'm just pushing up mid lane there. As you can see, Kassadin is forced to start farming his jungle camps because he can't even show up to lane without dying. So, bot lane's still fighting. I was going to roam down and help them if Evelyn ran up through Drake, but it doesn't look like she wanted to. So I'm just going to secure my blue because Twitch has got to cover top lane. Or I think he actually dies in a second. Yeah. Not a good idea to walk up to a Warwick outside tower range. Warwick doesn't even get aggro there, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway because he had the Blade of Ruin King completed. So as you can see, something our support, Alanir and me, have been doing this game, I had one on Wolves earlier, is that we're warding Evelyn's camps. And this allows, when you're playing against an Evelyn, a lot of the time you'll be like, oh, this is a really annoying champion to deal with, have to constantly buy pinks, and then she just kills them because they're not invisible anymore. Well, you don't actually have to buy pinks. If you see her on the other side of the map, use your greens on her camps. Like her red, her wraiths, and her wolves. Like you can see here, I'm warding her wolves again. This is because that way you can see where she's farming and keep track of where she is. The only way this doesn't work is if she's completely ignoring farm. So I get the tower here and turn back onto the Kassadin and burst him down before they can kill me. And then at this point, Evelyn can't really catch me and chase me down. In fact, I make a mistake here. I should have backed off and let the Twitch kill her, but I thought I could survive through her damage and kill her. Bit greedy on my part, but we end up getting the kill anyway, so it's not too bad. We got a tower, 2 kills for 1 death, which is really good for us. Warwick and Rammus having a little fight here. Warwick coming up really far ahead because he's got the Blade of the Ruin King completed. The hard counter Rammus powerball, completely cancelling the Warwick ult when he ulties on him. I don't think the Warwick quite knew about that interaction. And Rammus and Twitch just kill him eventually. So that's unfortunate for the Warwick. But as I was saying, against an Evelyn, you can just ward her camps and then you can see where she is. And if she's not farming, then she's losing a lot by... Even if she's getting ganks off, she's not getting any farm. Which means she's just going to fall behind on levels and stuff like that if the ganks don't go successfully. Alternatively, you can still buy these sort of pinks. Pink here is really good. Pink in this bush is really good. One down here is good as well. One up here. This pink actually helps quite a lot against Evelyn if she tries to sneak in through the river from Tribush or just down past Dragon. In fact, this is probably the best pink in the game, in my opinion. People just don't check this bush ever, and it sees so many ganks. You can also put a pink here, and in here as well in the early game to spot for Eve. I throw mine here just to clear a ward because I don't think they'll ever get to that pink ward to clear it. And I wanted to deny vision so I could roam around the map and do whatever I wanted. A nice bit of damage onto Kassadin there. And as you can see, I've gone for the poke build. So I'm going for the double armor pen items with a bloodthirster. And I'm just going to look to do as much burst damage as I possibly can in hammer form. And as much poke damage as I possibly can in cannon form. So Graves is 2 levels behind me right now. But he thinks he has the damage to duel me. And even with the health disadvantage, I know that I can beat him. So I just go in, burst him down, put the ignite on him before the heal comes through. He flashes away, and I just transform, and then lifesteal off minions and kill him. It was a pretty close fight, considering. But it comes out in my favour in the end, which I knew it would. And the Warwick's in quite a fair amount of trouble here. In fact, we actually have no idea where he goes here. We think he goes over there, but as soon as he doesn't appear here, I know exactly where he's gone. So I fire the EQ up towards him. It hits him, he panics. Rammus is like way too far away to really do anything. He can just wait and execute, but he panics and just goes in too quickly. And I don't actually have mana for my EQ, so I just end up queuing here and missing him, but he still dies to the tower and I get the kill credit for it. And the double buffs. Yay, double buffs. So as you can see right down here, the CS difference between me and Kassadin right now is just so incredibly huge. He's just so far behind right now. I mean, he's going for second item Lich Bane, it looks like, which is really interesting. I've not seen that before on a Kassadin, but it's probably because he's really far behind and just wants a bit of extra burst damage from the Sheen. This is what you have to do to a Kassadin. The good thing about, like, ADs are really good against Kassadin, like, way better now than they were, because not only do they ignore some of the stuff that he does, but he used to be able to silence them, so they can at least, like, constantly trade and use the skills on him. But now he can't silence them. It's even worse for him, because he goes in for a trade and then you just kill him. There's nothing he can do about it. So we're looking to fight over the dragon here. The Soraka gets caught out of position. Graves has to dash over the wall. We get a free dragon. Yeah, dragon. Free money. So I love the combo with Rammus, Jayce and Karma, because we can make the Rammus run so quickly. In fact, I don't know, I picked Jayce after the Rammus, so it wasn't our plan, but it just worked out really well. So we see Evelyn at Wraiths because we're warding her jungle camps, and we just completely speed the Rammus straight through the gate and the Karma speed buff shield, and he just chases Eve down. She can't really do anything to get away. So even outside his base towers, I'm trying to force him away from CS. And look, again, we find somebody out of position. Powerball, acceleration gate into the Karma shield, and just there's nothing you can do against that. You're just going to get caught. Gets taunted up and exploded. Really nice combo from our team here. So Twitch again, unfortunately, is being left to deal with the Warwick top while we make plays happen over the map. But at this point, Twitch is in a position where he should be able to defend the tower against him without getting dived. And the Warwick's not really getting anything from this, whereas we're getting a huge amount of gold from towers and kills. So Kassadin's trying to push mid because he knows he can't defend it on his own. Warwick's going to teleport in. Some of our teammates run scared, because I think actually, yeah, the Rammus teleported back, which I didn't realise, but I'm so far ahead that we can just win this fight anyway. Get the acceleration gate back down, the speed buff. I know the red buff's going to finish Warwick, so I back up. So the Grave can't burst me down. And I just destroy him with my hammer form combo. The main combo for Jayce, in case any of you aren't seeing exactly what skills are coming out when, is you want to be in cannon form first. And you want to use your acceleration gate into your shock blast, which is your EQ, to power up the Q and make it do more damage and have a higher radius. And then you want to switch into hammer form with your ult, and then you want to Q to your opponent, hit them because you get an extra burst of damage from your auto attack when you switch. It does an extra 100 damage, and then you want to E them, which is percent health, I think, which is really good. So Twitch is distracting the whole team while we get an extra inhibitor. Kassadin jumps back in, God knows why, and just gets himself destroyed by the three of us. He almost gets the Karma, but at this point there's not really much that he can do in this game. He's just too far behind. The only people who are doing relatively well on their team are the Evelyn and Warwick, but unfortunately they can't really carry the game on their own shoulders, because I am literally fed out of my mind this game. Everyone bar the Rammus on my team has 2 kills, and I have 12. It's having a bit of a dance here. I know this, played against this guy in rank 5s a lot, so just messing around with him in solo queue because we got a match together. And then, yeah, so at this point we should be looking to do the Baron and end in the game, because we just have such a huge lead. It's almost a 10k gold lead at 23 minutes, which is just ridiculous. It's kind of how snowbally solo queue games go, though. Pretty standard stuff for a game where someone gets ahead and pushes the advantage. So yeah, my thoughts on Jayce are that he is still really, really strong. In fact, I always enjoyed playing Jayce, but I'm not quite sure why I stopped and why he went out of meta, because he just... like, I can't imagine. I think it was because Zed was really good against him, but now if you play against the Zed as Jayce, you can just run exhaust and completely own him. I honestly can't remember why he went out of fashion, so we're looking to fight here. going to burst down the Evelyn. Going to then flash over the wall so I get a bit of breathing room. Going to land a Q on Kassadin there. Going to back up slightly though, because this Warwick is still quite scary. And our jungle Twitch manages to 1v1 their AD carrier bot lane. Feral Flare, Blade of the Ruin King, Recurve Bow Twitch. How much attack speed could you possibly want? But as I was saying, I'm not quite sure why Jayce fell out of fashion. I'd have to think about it to remember. But he used to be really good in the mid lane, where you would run pokey mid lanes. And he just has so much versatility. I just camp in a bush there and kill Kassadin as he pushes out. Nothing special there, but yeah, he's really, really strong. And I can't see why he fell out of fashion, because he just does so much damage and he fulfills so many different roles. He can play a poke role, he can play a burst assassin role if you can get close enough to your target. He's incredibly mobile and he makes his entire team mobile, which is just something amazing to have. Like, you can see how dominant Sivir was when people figured out how good her ult was for mobility. Well, Jayce's acceleration gate doesn't give as much move speed, but pretty much does exactly the same thing and makes your whole team really quick. And in a team fight, that is just priceless to have. You can't put a gold amount on the amount of move speed that gives your whole team. So right here, we're looking to just push and end the game together. Not much I can do right now. Twitch is going to try and burst down this Evelyn in mid while we pressure this tower. This is actually a decent attempt from them. They get a nice slow and a nice bit of AoE onto us, and at any point they're going to try and go in, because they know they have to fight or they're just going to end up losing the game. So the Warwick gets a nice ulti onto the Jayce here, as I've only just switched back into cannon form. Graves gets a nice ult to finish her off, so I couldn't knock the Warwick away. But then I just turn around and we get a good amount of damage on. I back up just to see what I'm going to do. Twitch comes in from the side, gets an absolute huge amount of damage out with his spray and pray. He's got his Runan's Hurricane and just gets a huge amount of damage through with my Shock Blast and his ult. It's going to take a good amount of damage in return, but it's not enough. This is a really interesting Twitch build that I've not seen before. It's really quite cool though. It's basically max attack speed with a bit of lifesteal from the Feral Flare. That's really cool. But yeah, the game's just coming up to an end here, so I hope you enjoyed this Jayce commentary. I hope you learned a bit about Jayce and what he can give to your team and how strong he actually is right now, because I think he's still very viable in a lot of different matchups. I think he can be picked into almost anything right now, actually, now that I think about it. And if you learn to play him, he's a very strong champion. He's like Lee Sin in Italy because he has so many different skills, so much versatility. He's a great champion. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the commentary and have a great day. See you later, guys.